Now we're going to read about the Zacks. The Zacks, one day making tracks in a prairie of pracks, came along north-going Zacks and south-going Zacks. And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face. "Look here now," the north-going Zack said. "I say you're blocking my path. You are right in my way. I'm the north-going Zacks, and I always go north. Get out of my way and let me go forth." "Who's in whose way?" snapped the south-going Zacks. "I'm always going south, making south-going tracks, so you are in my way, and I ask you to move, and let me go south on my south-going groove." Then the north-going Zacks puffed up his chest with pride. "I never," he said, "take a step to one side, and I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here for 59 days. "And I'll prove to you," yelled the south-going Zacks, "that I can stand here on the prairie of pracks for 59 years, for I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back going to south-going school. Never budge, that's my rule, never budge at the least, not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here not budging, I can and I will, if it makes you and me and the whole world stand still." Well, of course the world didn't stand still. The world grew in a couple of years. The new highways came through, and they built right over those two stubborn Zacks, and left them there standing and budging in their tracks. And that is the end of the Zacks. Too many Daves. Did I ever tell you that Mrs. McCabe had 21 sons and she named them all Dave? Well, she did, and that was not a smart thing to do. You see, when she wants one and calls out, "Yoo-hoo! Come on in the house, Dave," she doesn't get one. All 23 days come on and run. This makes things quite difficult at the McCabe's, as you can imagine, with so many Daves, and often she wishes that when they were born she had named them Bodkin Van Horn, and one of them Hoos Foos, and one of them Snim, and one of them Hot Shot, and another one Sunny Jim, and one of them Shadrach, and another one Blinky, and one of them Scuffy, and one of them Stinky, another one Put Put, another one Moonface, another one Marvin O'Gravel Balloon Face, and another one Ziggy, and another one Soggy Muff, one Buffalo Bill, and one Billalo Buff, and one of them Sneepy, and one of them Weepy Weed, and one of them Paris Garters, and one of them Harris Tweed, and one of them Sir Michael Carmichael Zut, and one of them Oliver Bolivar Butt, and one of them Zanzibar Buck Buck McFate. But she didn't do it, and now it's too late. And that's the end of that. What was I scared of? Well, I was walking at night, and I saw nothing scary, for I had never been afraid of anything. Not very. Then I was deep within the woods when suddenly I spied them. I saw a pair of pale green pants with nobody inside them. I was not scared, but yet I stopped, for what could those pants be there for? What could a pair of pants at night be standing in the air for? and then they moved, those empty pants. They kind of started jumping, and then my heart, I must admit, kind of started thumping. So I got out fast as I could go, sir. I wasn't scared, but the pants like that I do not care for, no sir. After that, a week went by. Then one of the dark nights, in Greenwich, I had to do an errand and fetch some Greenwich spinach. Well, I had fetched the spinach and I was starting back through town when those pants raced around the corner and almost knocked me down. I lost my Greenwich spinach, but I didn't even care. I ran home, believe me, I really had a scare. Now, bicycles were made for pale green pants to ride them. Now, bicycles were never made for pale green pants to ride them, especially spooky pale green pants with nobody inside them. And the next night, I was fishing for doubt trout on the Rover River. When those pants came rowing toward me, well, I started in to shiver. And by now I was so frightened that I'll tell you, but I hate to. I screamed and rode away and lost my hook and line and bait too. I ran around and found a brickle bush. I hid myself away. I got brickles in my breeches, but I stayed there anyway. I stayed all night, the next night too. I'd be there still, no doubt, but I had to do an errand, so the next night I went out. I had to do an errand, had to pick a peck of snide in a dark and gloomy snide field that's almost 9 miles wide. I said, I do not fear those pants with nobody inside them. I said those words. I said them, but I lied them. Then I reached inside a snide bush, and the next thing that I knew, I felt my hand touch someone, and I'll bet you know who. And there I was, caught in the snide, and that dreadful place, those spooky empty pants, and I were standing face to face. I yelled for help, I screamed, I shrieked, I howled, I yelled, I cried. Oh, save me from those pale green pants with nobody inside. But then a strange thing happened. Why, those pants began to cry. Those pants began to tremble. They were just as scared as I. I never heard such whimpering, and I began to see that I was just as strange to them as they were strange to me. I put my arm around their waist and sat right down beside them. I conned them down poor empty pants with nobody inside them. And now we meet quite often, those empty pants and I, and we never shake or tremble, and we both smile and say hi. The end. And that was the Sneetches and Other Stories. I love you, Kaitlyn. This is just for you.